If this film tells you all one thing for certain, Simu Liu is a freaking superstar. And you know what, guys? That dude deserves the world. I mean, for crying out loud, he's living the dream right now. Without a doubt, the most humble dude in the whole MCU. Everybody, my name is Zack, and I love talking cinema, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all things entertainment. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys clicking on the thumbnail and stopping by the channel today. I hope you enjoy your stay, because in case you couldn't tell, today's topic is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Finally! Yeah, I know I'm late to this party, but here we are. I finally got to sit through this thing last night. It was directed by Destin Cretton. Now, if that name sounds familiar, he also directed a movie called Just Mercy, which I clearly liked. And here he is directing a film in the MCU. Now, this film does star Simu Liu as the title character, along with Awkwafina and Leung as the Mandarin himself. Martial arts master Shang-Chi, played by Simu Liu, confronts the past he thought he left behind, all when he's drawn into the web of the mysterious Ten Rings organization, led by his father, played by Leung. And don't you worry, my friends, this is a spoiler-free video, so just in case you haven't had a chance to see Shang-Chi yet, you guys are safe with me. My job is basically just to tell you guys how utterly incredible Shang-Chi is. And you guys all know by this point, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to put it simply, has changed the game of blockbusters forever. 25 movies and 3 TV series on Disney Plus are now all linked together with one gigantic saga, and the 4th phase of Kevin Feige's brainchild doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. And guys, I can't help but smile right now because I am so happy to report to you that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is my favorite solo MCU movie since Thor Ragnarok. I absolutely adored this movie from start to finish. Everything about it was just magical. Now, Destin Cretton as a director, I've really enjoyed his work up to this point. As I've just alluded to, Just Mercy is a really moving, solid feature. He also directed a smaller film called The Glass Castle, also starring Brie Larson. And that one's pretty good. It's certainly well helmed. But this film right here may be his crowning achievement as a director. Shang-Chi looks absolutely stunning. The cinematography, outstanding. The CGI, especially when it involves water and some ancient creatures, euphoric. These action sequences are all so well helmed. It is so seamlessly edited, and it's a movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat from the opening shot of the Ten Rings flag. And guys, keeping on the subject of these action sequences, like, my god. These unironically may be my favorite combat sequences in the entire saga. Seriously, these action sequences are really that damn good. Every single one of them is so exciting. They are relentlessly entertaining. They are so fast-paced. There's especially one fight scene aboard a bus in San Francisco. It's honestly like if you melded every Jackie Chan kung fu movie with Speed. It was pretty fucking awesome, guys. This bus stop scene, it may be my favorite MCU fight since the airport sequence in Civil War. It was non-stop, in your face, funny, and it was so well choreographed too. And that's the case with all these action sequences. The creativity on display with this fight choreography and these stunts, unbelievable. And I also thought that this script was filled to the brim with some really fascinating lore, really living up to the legend part of the title. Literally, Shang-Chi is linking all the way back to stuff that was talked about in Phase 2. And I will admit there were a couple of times where the film could feel a bit exposition dumpy as it goes with telling us the story of the Ten Rings. This isn't even counting the opening sequence where we're introduced to Leung's character. But the thing is, the movie always kept me wanting to learn more about it. I was always wanting to learn more about these characters with every new scene we got. Speaking of, all these characters you will instantly fall in love with. There is not one weak link in this cast. Every single actor brings their A-game to the proceedings here. Simu Liu was absolutely phenomenal as Shang-Chi. I mean, I said earlier he was a superstar, didn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for him. He really does understand his character's struggles, and the emotional beats are all on point with him. He was charismatic, he was charming, he brings so much energy to this part, and he's unbelievably good in the action sequences as well, while performing most of his own stunts, which you gotta commend. He really is throwing his walking all into this movie, and in turn, the movie rewards him for his energy by presenting him like $1 million. I think Shang-Chi is an absolutely fantastic addition to the MCU, such a fantastic hero. I can't wait to see what's next for him. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who walk into this theater and they'll leave it really inspired by what he's done. I also gotta talk about Awkwafina as his best friend, Katie, because she was utterly hilarious. Her commentary about certain moments that occur with this film is the stuff of sarcastic legend. It's truly unlike any comedy you'll ever see. It really had me in stitches. Just look out for the bit about the American name Shang-Chi chooses as a cover-up, and pay close attention to Katie's judgment of said name change. Absolutely glorious comedy. Speaking of, the film not only brings the MCU style of humor to the proceedings, there are so many really clever jokes. It also packs quite the emotional punch, especially as it goes with the family dynamic. Shang-Chi himself has a pretty jarring backstory, which is almost haunting thinking about it all in hindsight. He does share a strained relationship with his estranged sister, which is so amazing to see evolve, as is his relationship with his father, played by Leung, the Mandarin himself. Oh my goodness gracious, what a fantastic antagonist for the MCU. Now keep in mind, this is the leader of a secret organization that's burned down entire cities up to this point, but you oddly enough understand why he has to do those things. You don't root for him, but you amazingly understand where he's coming from. Leung's approach to this character as a troubled man who just wants to be loved is so astoundingly good. This villain is basically everything Ego wishes he was. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this villain is bound to draw some comparisons to Ego. This one is infinitely more interesting, and I don't mean this as a knock on Ego at all. I think Kurt Russell is fabulous in Guardians 2. Certainly liked the Mandarin more. Certainly doing the Mandarin proper justice on the big screen here. Now, I only really have a couple of nitpicks with Shang-Chi, and this is really digging deep at this point. Firstly, the given circumstances involving Shang-Chi's family, especially his mother, incredibly predictable. Gee, I wonder what happened to the mother. Not to imply anything, of course, but something happens to the mother. Admittedly, once they do show you what happened to the mother, it brought me to tears. It was so unbelievably moving. In my eyes, the emotion in Shang-Chi is unmatched compared to any other MCU project before this. And yeah, I gotta talk about this. And you've all seen the trailer, so this isn't really a spoiler per se, but I really wish that that appearance from Abomination was left a surprise. Don't get me wrong, his scene was still pretty badass, and he surprisingly does have a couple of funny moments in there with Wong. Also great in the movie, mind you, but I just wish that these cameos were left a little bit more under wraps. But that's not to say that Shang-Chi is completely devoid of surprises. There's one cameo in here where my jaw was absolutely on the floor. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And this cameo certainly leads to a plethora of funny moments in its own right. I mean, besides those two nitpicks, guys, I really did love Shang-Chi. And I don't know, I think I gotta watch this again to be sure about this, but Shang-Chi may have just soared into my top 10 projects for the MCU, period. I, for one, can't wait to go back to the theater to check this out again, and I urge every single one of you to go to your nearest theater right now and check this movie out when you can. I'm gonna give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings an A. I'm dead serious, guys. This may be one of 2021's strongest outings so far. Definitely my personal favorite MCU Phase 4 project up to this point. And the rest of the projects this year have a big hurdle to jump over. Looking at you, No Way Home. Most anticipated movie of the year for sure. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. And of course, as per usual with all these MCU films, stay tuned after the end of the movie. There are not one, but two post-credit scenes for y'all to enjoy. And as per usual, they are really cool. Lord Feige really does know how to link his projects up, doesn't he? But guys, this is all just my opinion, of course. What are your thoughts on Shang-Chi? Have you seen it yet? Did you love it as much as I did? Did you not like it? And I'm also curious, which solo outing from the MCU is your favorite up to this point? And which other Phase 4 projects are you the most hyped up for? Feel free to make some noise down in the comments section below, and let's have some fun with this, because I really do love making these videos and talking cinema and all things entertainment. As you guys know, I have already reviewed every single other MCU film leading up to this already. I'll go ahead and leave a link to that playlist down in the description box too, just in case you missed it. But if you guys want to keep discussing all these fun topics with me, then do consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. It's totally free to you guys. guys, it's really beneficial to help get this content out there. I am on the road to hopefully hitting 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. Let's see if we can do it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. That really helps more people see it as well. And as always, guys, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. And this includes my first installment in the Daniel Craig Bond playlist with Casino Royale hitting the channel this Wednesday, September 8th. And next weekend looks to be pretty loaded as well, with Malignant hitting theaters, the new James Wan horror film. So you guys have got that to look forward to and much more. Y'all are the best. Seriously, again, I can't thank you guys enough for your support up to this point. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!